discussion on the wind portion or questions?
I guess I got one more about the utility scale one. So like Ranger Power approached our township to do the solar arrays. If a company came with windmills and approached our township, instead of going to the state, we're just gonna tell them to go to the state, I guess, to go get.
We're gonna say we don't allow utility scale here, and so they'd have to go through the state process if they wanted to. If the state law holds, right, after all the.
And wind is included in the state law?
Yes.
Okay, I guess that I wasn't aware of. I thought it was strictly solar.
No, solar, battery storage, and wind.
Okay.
They're all in the
I thought it was just solar and battery, okay. All right.
And the fact that we have something in our township ordinance that says we don't allow wind, utility wind, we do not need to add that language into.
No, we just don't talk about it. We don't say it's a use at all. We don't,
Right. Yeah, we don't have,
acknowledge it.
for clarification, we don't have anything in the ordinance that says it's not allowed.
No,
It's that it's not listed as a permitted use.
yes,
Therefore,
It's not
by
allowed.
default, it's not allowed.
yes.
Which would
There's
be
a
the same
difference.
thing if, I don't know, I can't come up with an example.
There's not a difference in the end, but
Yeah.
there's a difference in how you say it.
Right.
Because you can't really exclude any use. So just by not mentioning it, it's not allowed. But you can't in your ordinance say, these uses are excluded. You
Right.
can't have a list.
Bring it to their people's attention. They
Yeah,
right away
you
take
can't
this
do
up.
that.
Then
but
you get
can-
upset when they read that.
But you can
then
exclude
they're-
it.
they're
It's the
entitled
same
to
as the
what they say.
marijuana thing, commercial marijuana. We have no ordinance, therefore we don't allow it.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that's the way a zoning ordinance works. If it's not a permitted use, then it's not allowed.
Yes. It's
But
not
the state
listed.
still has ultimate say over if they're coming in here or not, though. Right?
They could.
Yeah, they could
The
still
state.
say you're
The state
getting,
will.
you're
Yeah.
still getting solar panels, or you're still
They
getting
could.
windmills, even though we say we don't.
They could.
My mind just works backwards, like I get what you're saying, but I feel like if we don't have something in there, it makes it easier, because I just can't, like,
No.
Yeah, no.
it just
No,
seems
it's-
backwards to me.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in private practice, I dealt with that all the time. So if a client wanted to do something, it had to be a permitted use, either as a matter of right or as a special land use.
Okay.
So, and if it's not listed, then it's just not allowed, yeah. All right, so
So I will-
what are our next steps?
So the next step would be to set a public hearing. The only thing I have to add still is the battery storage definitions, so.
Andrew.
It's alive.
So I guess we could, there's talk about, some people aren't gonna be here in November, so I don't know if you wanna wait and set the hearing for December. I don't, let you talk about timing and how you wanna move forward.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up, because we already know that two members of the planning commission won't be here. We do have, this is an election year, we were just discussing the matter of the board liaison to the planning commission, the timing of terms and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's the day everyone would take office, is November 20th, that's your meeting date.
So that
Very
could
crazy
bring
day.
into question, would we have a board representative available for that, which would mean we could possibly have three members now. That would leave four in theory, which is still a quorum. However,
If something
a month
happens.
from now, someone falls ill, then we would not have a quorum
And we'd have a
any longer.
notice the
So I
meeting.
don't know if,
Well, so in December though, you're talking about the 18th, which is your regular meeting date, which is
Right.
the week before Christmas too. So,
I was thinking you might be better off just wait till January, that way the board would be more settled, you don't think so?
I mean, am I missing, like, so we're talking about calling a special meeting, and then you vote on it on the 20th, is that what is?
no, there's not enough time to do a public, the earliest meeting we can hold a public hearing is November 20th. That's the earliest, because
Why?
because the state requires that we publish it 15 days prior.
Oh, I thought it was 72 hours.
No, that's for a special meeting, but this is for a public hearing. That's not as,
Oh.
they're different.
Okay.
So, no, the earliest we could even have this meeting is the 20th. And if the 20th doesn't work, then you're talking about, potentially you could notice a special meeting and a public hearing at a December, earlier December date, but that's the earliest you could.
Is it 15 business days?
15 days. But so there's 15 days, but then there's publication requirements where the notice has to be in the paper, or to the paper earlier than that, and the paper's only published on certain date. I mean, there's a whole
So
formula
the
to this.
15th is like.
So really, I need to have it to the paper like 25 days
So
before.
what paper's out there now?
Well, I think it's the Ann Arbor News is the one that we,
Isn't everything on
There's still a
file?
paper?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but there's still, yes, but there's still deadlines to get in the paper. So let's see.
Well, if we're talking like just 15 days and you're including weekends, that's October 30th.
No, it's.
No, it's 20,
it's-
it's
It'd
like
be
25.
it'd be November 5th, which means I'd have to get it to the paper by October 31st. So I mean, I'd have to get it to the paper in a week,
And what you're talking about, get to the paper is the meeting notice.
the notice,
You
but,
don't have to have, because the ordinance is pretty much done.
right, but November 20th is also the day that all the new electeds take office at noon. And so that's the date of your meeting. So we cannot do it before the 20th. And the 20th is not, that's what I'm hearing isn't a good date for a meeting, because at least 2 of you will be out, and then it's the day the electeds take office. So there will be, we don't know if we have a liaison, and that's what I'm hearing. It's up to you. You tell me.
Well,
I'll
especially,
make-
I mean, it's one thing if we were just holding a regular monthly meeting and we turn up where we don't have a quorum, but if we've advertised a public hearing and then it turns up we don't have a quorum, we can't have a public hearing, and then we have to go back through the process.
Right, we have to notice it again.
Right,
Yeah.
and what's the rush? I guess that's the thing. I mean, why do we have to rush and have to have it done immediately right now?
Well, my thought is, because we don't know the makeup of the new board, because if the planning commission can get this taken care of and then give it to the existing board to,
It's,
It won't though, because the new board takes effect the day of your next meeting.
You still got a
And
first
you won't-
reading and a second reading.
This
and-
is the last meeting of this
this
month
board.
is the last meeting of this board,
I
of
don't know.
the
Yeah, it would be
current board.
next week, the 22nd?
Yes, the new board will meet on November 26th
Oh, you don't
or
meet on the
28th or 24th,
Okay.
whoever
But you
that.
take office on the 20th.
Actually,
Right.
the swearing in is gonna be on November 18th.
Oh, okay. Every
Or
community does
whoever
it, every
wins.
community does it a little bit
Right.
different.
Yeah,
And then at the board level, there are 2 readings, if I
Right.
Right,
remember correctly,
so it's 2 meetings.
Yeah.
So
No,
you
you were
still,
right, twice.
to make this law, you're still looking at January, February, somewhere.
You're still looking at, well, you're looking at 3 meetings, right? You're
Yeah.
looking at a planning commission meeting and 2
Right.
board meetings.
Right.
and I was not here for the last meeting on this. Are we pretty much settled with the language that's on here? And do you want any spelling corrections, minor spelling corrections?
Yeah, I mean, this is what was presented to you pretty much last month
Yeah.
with a couple minor changes to the wind. So, yeah, I mean, you could submit to me after you have more time to review it if there's anything else. But during the public hearing, we could also make some tweaks before we get it to the board. So there's plenty of time for that.
Suppose we kick the can down the road. I mean, truly. You're saying December or January. I think December's a bad time. I'd say this would probably be something you want to do in January then.
That's what I was thinking.
So my proposal, I'd make the motion that we prepare at the January meeting for the hearing.
I agree.
What day would that be in January?
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Which day in January, I guess?
The
would that-
15th.
15th of January?
Is your regular meeting day?
Yeah, it would be the 15th, our regular meeting.
So are we talking about canceling the 20th of November, or where are we at with that, or is it
I don't
still-
have any other items.
So, no. that
There
would-
probably be no
Yeah,
meeting.
we don't, I mean, we don't have to take action on that, we don't have to make a decision tonight, but I'm just trying to be cognizant of the reality of it as we
Right.
plan the items and then we can deal with the meeting.
So chances are we won't have it on the 20th, which I'm gonna be here in December, sounds like probably canceled too, probably.
I don't have it, I don't know of any other items that are coming. That doesn't mean we won't get something. We could get another
Right.
PA 116 application or something, but
Right.
I don't know
We
anything at this
Yeah,
point.
we won't know, I mean, there's still a whole month that, for someone to submit something for the December meeting,
Right.
so.
I was just trying to update my
Yeah.
calendar here.
Is there,
I made a motion.
I'll second that motion.
okay.
To go to January.
So we have a motion on the table. Do we need formal action to set the public hearing?
No. But, I mean, your motion of support, you might as well vote on it.
All right,
And that gives me the direction to do it.
so we have a motion by Commissioner Wolf to set a public hearing for the January, whoops,
Second it.
it's a January 15th meeting? Is
Yes.
that correct? January 15th meeting. I appreciate that, Trustee Hall, but I think we had support previously from
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Spence.
That's why I do my last one.
I'll let you have it then if you want.
Is your last one in there?
All right. We have support from Commissioner Spence and honorary support from Trustee Hall. Yerk, yes. Wolf?
Yes.
Hall?
Yes.
Spence?
Yes.
Hamel?
Yes.
Witt?
Yes.
Albers?
No?
All right, so motion carries unanimously. All right, moving on to item number 8, public comment. Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to speak? Ms. Mallon?
Dale, you can just talk because the mics aren't working.
Okay, great. I was gonna apologize for hovering, but I don't hear that well. Got a bad ear, been very busy, taking care of sick people. I have to say that I do have a lot of issues with the planning commission, and I also have a lot of experience with the issues, including the ranger project, the agricultural district, and the lack of support from the township. I don't know, I came tonight to say I haven't gone away. And yes, I have been too busy taking care of sick people to go to the state, but I still will. I think this committee needs to work on being more responsible, because there's been a really big lack with the township board, and we need to work on ordinances, certainly including the things that have to do with the environment, with the infrastructure, gas, water, what they're gonna bring in for businesses. It's a very intense time, and I feel we need to really be paying attention. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there tonight. I have participated, volunteered a huge amount in this township. And I hope that we can move forward in maintaining a community with responsible infrastructure that supports the property owners that are here, and that there's not an overboard on new developments. I support the kind of slow growth because I don't think this swamp is capable of maintaining itself. The weather is changing. We got the tornado last year. That was a horrible event and will probably not recover completely. I think my husband and kids did a great job. We got no help from the township. I heard other communities helping. I have been to Scioto and York, and people who used a resident committee to help with grants and resources. And I was really impressed with the other townships. I haven't seen that here. I have been working towards it. I've spent a lot of time on it. And now I'm old. And so I don't know how much more I can do. But I hope you will pay attention and be responsible for the whole community because it's in great need. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mallon. Is there anyone else in the audience? Hearing none, we'll close public comments. Move on to communications.
Yes, yesterday, October 6th, 10 a.m., the Township BOT held a special meeting over at Mitchell Storage, and they're wanting, I'm gonna make the short of it because there's only so much I can say. They're wanting to come back, and actually the planning commission said, you know, turn them down because you gotta do this before you can do this. And the board stuck to that, and we were taking it back to Mitchell Storage as that. And they did propose some of the changes that they're making, which I see good changes. And anyway, if they don't agree to the changes, then we'll be going to court November 1st with Mitchell Storage.
Thank you, Trustee Hall. Is there anyone else on the commission have any communications to pass on? Ms. Krebs, do you have anything for us?
No.
All right, with that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Support.
By Hamel. Formal support by Trustee Hall.
Again?
Good job, Dave.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. Meeting concluded at 7:26.